Good morning, everybody.
Making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Plate. Discover your new burger obsession. More may be required.
A recent study has listed the states experiencing the highest number of power outages.
According to Compare the Market AU, Texas topped the list with 190 power disruptions in 2020, the most recent year for which data was examined. California came in second with 167 outages, Washington, Louisiana, and Kansas. Conversely, the states with the lowest occurrence of power outages are Hawaii and Alaska, both reported none. Arizona had 8, while Wyoming and Tennessee each experienced 9 outages. I'm John Jacob.
BravoCon made its debut in Las Vegas for the first time, having previously promoted New York City in years past.
Are you still doing anything with the St. Vincent?
Oh yeah, I'm back. I passed the torch on. I had to resign. They didn't want me to resign.
Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live, appearances by numerous Real Housewives, as well as panels, meet and greets, and live performances. That 3-day event wraps up today. The stage set this morning for the New York City Marathon. Heavy security is in place, according to the NYPD, for the more than 26-mile race through all 5 boroughs. More than 50,000 runners from 150 countries taking part. Grammy Award-winning singer Patina Miller and actor Luke McFarlane among the celebrities running. I'm Corey Myers, USA News.
Do you have a story to tell? Bring your story to life with audiobooks. Great stories deserve great storytelling. Audiobook Network provides professional voice actors and full production services for every author's manuscript. From narration, production, and editing to distribution, promotion, and sales, Audiobook Network handles everything. If you have a book, ebook, or even a manuscript, call Audiobook Network now and get our free audiobook guide. 800-734-1229. 800-734-1229.
WVVF is your hometown radio station. And one of the things we like to do to support people in your hometown is to run community announcements. If you do belong to a nonprofit group or organization, or if you're an official with a city or town government, send your community announcements along to our email address. It's safe, it's fast, and allows us to get right back to you if you have a question. Send your community announcements to WVVF 1530.
Very clear to my wife that he may not come out of this alive. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you that.
1530@hotmail.com.
Well, hey,
Thank you for listening.
we got a Chuck sighting.
I refer to this as Chuck Alert. Chuck Alert. He's at the TV.
Right, wait, Mike. Any Chuck sightings?
It's also the Chuck Alert.
Oh, good to have you back, sorry.
It's good to be back. I'm only 9 months late, right? Joey, help me with the math.
Eight, I think.
We've been meaning to get a hold of some St. Vincent de Paul. So this should be
Yeah.
And I would like to invite the new president, the first female president, Linda. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
And she was supposed to be the president. She didn't want to do it though. She said, "I can't do it." I said, "Lisa, why can't you do it?" I remember sitting down with her. I'm like,
So you're not president, but you...
I'm very active. Yeah. I'm ex-president. They want me. You know what? When she finishes her term, they want me to come back. Like, you know,
You're 45, right?
Well, it's funny. All the past presidents came together. So I was saying to him yesterday, "You're Donald Trump. I'm actually Donald Trump. She's Joe Biden."
All right, here
Not
we
to
go.
get political.
2,
Ready?
1, and 0. And welcome to Middleboro in review. We have a full house today. This is great. I'm Joey Driscoll. It is the end of daylight savings time, unfortunately, which means winter is coming.
We're getting a good broadcast signal to all listeners.
Yes, because it is
So what kind of
daylight.
daylight?
It's daytime, so that's the good one. That's the good part of it. But unfortunately,
It's kind of a drag when you wake up and it's not light until like 10 past 7.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
I agree.
I mean, we're gonna pay for it at the other end though. When we have no daylight, it's 4:30. whatever, you know.
Don. Good morning, Don. How are you this morning?
Not bad. I see you got your Flying Monkey shirt on.
I do. I have my Flying
That's
Monkey
a great
shirt
little
on.
venue up in Plymouth, New Hampshire. We saw, what, 2 shows there?
Yeah.
We saw Hut Tuner.
Very good.
And Michael Shanker Group.
Yeah.
And it's a nice old venue. So if you're ever up in the Plymouth, New Hampshire, it's a really great, it's a cool shirt. So, yeah.
It is. It's a really nice shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we want to welcome our guest today, Chuck Hart, in the studio.
It is an honor and privilege, Joe and John, to be in the studio with you two. I love the father and son connection. I do apologize because I said in the parking lot I'm 9 months late, 8 or 9 months, Don.
That's all right.
I know this all started. I was going to January the 1st. It was New Year's Day, and then I made February the 1st.
Yeah.
And then my whole life just went upside down. I was telling Don and Joy real quick. My spine is now, my cervical spine is
So
fused.
you're going to be here, when's the first show in December?
First show in December.
Yeah,
We're going to have to look that up.
I like that.
All right,
Hold on
back
a second.
to
I
the,
like that very much. But cervically, my spine is, I had spinal surgery in July. My spine cervically C2 through T1. That means nothing to most people, but I like to say because it sounds good. I am fused C2 to T1. And I thank you both. And the St. Vincent de Paul chapter now has the first female president. Linda is the first female president. I resigned and she took over. But it's just so good to be here with the both of you. And so much going on in our world, so much going on in our area, but a pleasure to sit with the father and son the relationship that I so much respect and admire. Is that
All right.
Is that a
Yeah.
note you want me to read?
yeah, I want you to read it. That's from Paul Labs. He's our Saturday guy. And
Happy.
I got to read it.
Yeah, this is great. This says, "Happy Sunday morning, Dawn. I'll be listening. Will you talk about your something excursion from Saturday, Paul?
Yeah.
Take Joe out for breakfast. Yes, let's all go out for breakfast.
Yeah.
Let's go up to the North Shore. We'll get a nice restaurant up in Swampscott.
Yeah.
Will you talk about your excursion from Saturday?
Yeah.
Your train excursion.
Yeah, we had a train.
Oh, yes.
We'll be getting into that today.
Yes.
Absolutely. It was very
we got
interesting.
a little bit of a transportation topic. I'll probably do the second.
Yeah,
second
very
half.
interesting stuff.
Yeah. Good and bad.
Good and bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
I
and
mean,
bad.
we had a-
Mostly good because they redeemed
Well,
themselves.
exactly. If we didn't do the excursion yesterday, we would have.
It would have been very
boy,
bad,
yeah,
yes.
It would have been.
Yes. Bad.
Yeah.
But happy daylight savings time to you
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, historically, one of the reasons why we keep it is because when young kids and adolescents get on the school buses, it's so dark in the morning, because you mentioned that. So that's one of the reasons why. That's what folklore tells me, at least anyways. The
No,
reason
that
why
makes- all makes sense.
They don't want the kids to be on the buses in the dark.
Yeah,
So-
I mean it's hard to operate in the dark. I drive an
It
oil
is.
truck and it's tough for backing up. I like to when I deliver oil, I like to be as much daylight as possible. I'm not one of those guys who back down someone's driveway at 5 in the morning, waking everyone up. There's a lot of black ice. There's a lot of unknowns in the morning. I'd rather work into the night because at least you know what the territory and what the conditions are going into night. But when you start so early in the morning, you don't know what's what. You don't know if there's black ice. It's always a mystery. And a lot of people out there who are half asleep driving, because a lot of people don't get out of their little sleepiness until like 10 o'clock. I know people who don't say 2 words until like 10 o'clock. Don't need any coffee. Oh, they just can't get up. I mean, the morning is such a terrible time for a lot of people.
And can I just say one quick thing that's totally tangential to this conversation, but it's heavy on my heart. I just want to keep in prayers the families from Dayton, Rehoboth, and Swampscott. There was a playoff game of lacrosse, a field hockey playoff game where a player for the Dayton Rehoboth team was really hurt, and I just want to send my prayers out to her. I don't even know her name, but you're in my heart, your family, and all the players. I had showed Joey the video.
Yeah.
It's a pretty graphic, disturbing video, and it's gone viral, and this is being talked about nationally right now. But I grew up in Swampscott, and I live in Dayton, so both communities are very important to me, and all the students from both teams. They're adolescents, they're young kids, and what they're going through is very traumatic. I hope they get the support that they need. I know the superintendent from the Dayton Rehoboth Public Schools has asked the MIAA to really rethink allowing boys to play girls' sports. And that's a state law, and it's the MIAA stands by that. So I just want to keep, and I don't want it to be politicized, because it need not be, because I think we all need to keep the families and everyone that was on that field that witnessed that. That's a traumatic event, and that will stay with them. Her scream, the poor child, the poor person that was hurt, her family, her, and all the players and the coaches and the athletic directors and the fans that were there and the I didn't mean to say athletic directors. I meant to say the first aid responders that came running out. What do we call those? The team,
the EMTs.
Yeah, BMT. The team. Each team has like a
doctors,
doctor or whatever. But just keep them in your prayers and thoughts. And I don't know if there's anything we can do for them, but more than praying. But I know there's a school committee meeting Tuesday night in Dayton, Rehoboth, and the people are pretty angry. It's going to be a very well attended meeting, I'm sure, because the push is going to be to ask the MIAA to no longer allow boys to play these sports. So but the main thing is for the people that witness that they, because that's traumatizing, because now they may not want to play sports in general, because each sport has inherent risks, and we know that every sport has inherent risks. So my prayers and continued support to both Swampscott and Dayton Rehoboth.
Yeah, anytime someone gets hurt, it's pretty tragic, especially because I've been fortunate enough not to ever break any of my bones, but I couldn't imagine that happening. Whatever. I've been a lucky person. Surgeries, but Joey over here, he suffered. He was born with spinal cord.
And I am not so lucky to have not broken a bone. So.
Yeah, he broke a bone.
And actually, my surgeon told me. My surgeon that did my said that spine that your thing is like mine was like not even close to what you went through, but that's what like comparable to the fusion and
when he was born, that's what they did. They fused them together.
So I have a lot of respect and admiration for you. You are one courageous dude too, honestly, and I mean that wholeheartely. You are.
He's unbelievable.
You really are. It's when you pulled in. And I saw you, and you looked at me, and you rolled that window down. And the first thing he said was, "Chuck!" There was a look of incredulity on his face, like, "Who is that masked man? Chuck alert! Chuck alert!" It was just so good to see you. So good to see you.
Yeah. I'm glad that was good, and I hope the best for you and your family. And it's good to have you back. And we need a fixture.
I'm really so thrilled to be back.
It's great, because we Joey's been talking. You get a hold of Ray LaPray and. How is Ray and David?
That's a Ray's a story for another time. I'll just people could keep Ray in their prayers, and I can tell you after. I don't want to break any of his confidences and stuff, but and David Cunningham is doing really well. And the place was packed yesterday.
Was it? Okay.
And lots of supports, lots of beautiful things happening in Middleboro. From the St. Vincent de Paul chapter. So
I am all signed up for myself, so I probably will be seeing you probably towards Christmas. Because Christmas is I kind of slow down on Christmas on Saturdays, so I could probably break up a
whenever you can come, we'd love to see you.
Yeah, around Christmas or whatever. So I'm all signed up. I'm pretty sure
you are.
Yeah, you are. So I'm gonna drive a truck and. Whatever, but,
I always appreciate you and Joey letting me get the plug in so people know that we're...
I mean, we've been running the ads and whatnot, but...
And actually, you gave me the offer, I think, to do the ad, maybe at some point.
Either you or the new president.
The new president, I will speak to the Madam President.
Yeah, invite her on the show, maybe when you come next time.
Yeah, I will invite her, yes, I will. I'll tell her.
And then Joey has his Middleboro Matters show at 11 o'clock on Thursday, so that's more time. Phone call's always good. What's going on? Because we got Thanksgiving and the holidays coming up, so I mean we kind of need some updates of what's going on.
Yeah. And I went to a veterans event last night at a Baptist church on Plymouth Street in Middleboro. It was beautiful. They said they had over 130 veterans and from Vietnam War. I sat at the table with 2 Vietnam War vets, so I know Friday is Veterans Day. So thanks. Saturday, yes. Celebrated on Friday, but on Saturday.
Right, exactly.
And I just want to say that I don't want to manipulate or take over, but a vet said something to me that it's going to stay with me for the rest of my life. I was speaking to him, and he said, "Don't thank me for my service, thank me for my time." So I'm now telling, when I see a vet, I'm saying, "Thank you for your time to your country." So that just really resonated with me. He wasn't bitter about the service, but he said it's more specific. So I thank you for your time to your country.
Right. So,
I want to say good morning to some of our Facebook listeners here. Good morning, Paul Laz.
Hello, Paul.
Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Patrick Hussey. Good morning, Scott from Georgia.
So we got Scott from Georgia. Wow. You got Pat Hussey from Brentwood, New Hampshire.
Whoa.
Great. I mean, these are childhood friends, Ryan. Childhood friends. I mean, we roll
Where,
around.
where in New Hampshire?
Brentwood.
So is that up by North Conway?
No, that's up near Epping.
Okay.
Is it Epping? I think it's Epping.
So it's not Bretton Woods. I used to ski at a
No,
place. where-
he's not too far up over the.
Okay.
He's probably about 20 miles up over off of Route 125. Childhood friend. Grew up with him. My friend's Scott, same deal.
Exeter.
Exeter. He said Exeter.
Exeter.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a real good friend. I have a handful of great friends. They're like brothers to me, and I love them all. And we're just like family. He's like my brother. He's my brother, and there's nothing. What he wouldn't do for me. I'm not saying anything. He's probably listening, crying. Tears. always giving me finger gestures. No.
That's Scott from New Hampshire?
No,
Pat.
And
Pat from New Hampshire. I like my sister lives in Merrimack.
And then Paul Laz, who has the show on Saturday, Great Country Journal. Great guy. We went to a Beatles thing over the summer. We saw the O-Nos live band, the OHNOs. To take off of Yoko Ono. Chachi LaPret was doing a thing at Lorenzo's over the summer. He did 4 shows, and one was a live band. They were great. Actually, they started with Good Day Sunshine.
Yes.
And the player, the woman who played was unbelievable. Oh my God, she just came right out, and what a great show. And we want to thank Chachi for coming on and hosting the show, being on Thursday show and calling in a few times and mentioning us in front of the audience, which is always nice. And you can't ask for better people. So and it's good to have you, friends.
It's so good. It's
good.
and I appreciate you reaching out to me. You reached out. I
to
really
a certain point.
Yeah, no, you did. No, you were persistent.
Well, we'll collect it.
And to mention on Thursday that new Beatles song is out. What a beautiful song.
That is a beautiful song. You know that, Chuck? New Beatles song came out?
I do not. I heard that. I did hear it, but I did not. I have not heard it yet. So
go ahead, Joe. You got the skinny on that, right?
Well, I'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't have it up right now. I'll do that during my music recommendation. I'm doing a music recommendation today. I'm not gonna say what it's gonna be.
Oh, to be continued. This is good.
It's gonna be to be revealed here shortly. But
so it's
weather.
to be revealed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Weather, real quick. Driscoll, North Dakota. Let's start with Driscoll, North Dakota today. 34 degrees. Kind of cloudy out. 45 today with rain in the forecast. 42 tomorrow with a low of 29. So they're getting into the very cold weather in Driscoll, North Dakota. I think I said a week or two ago it was like one of the lows was like negative, like not negative, but very close to that.
13.
13, yeah. Driscoll, Texas, 59 degrees with a high of 86 today, a high of 88 tomorrow with a low of 67, a high of 90 on Tuesday. So we're still getting 90 in Texas.
My son is in Texas. He's serving. He's a second lieutenant at what used to be Fort Hood and is now Fort Cavazos. So he's the same thing. He's said that they're still in the 80s. So
right. So how's he doing? I remember he went to.
He made it to Ranger School.
Yeah, I remember that. He went in January.
He went in January,
yeah.
and he did, and he made it out. I was so proud of him because he really it was tough. It was the toughest thing he's ever done in his life.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. But he made it.
Rangers are the best.
Yeah, he's got a Ranger tab.
Green Berets, Rangers.
Yeah. And he's going to be promoted this month. He's going to be a first lieutenant. And he is, I do not know if he's going to be home for, they have not told him whether he can come home or not. He has not received his orders, but my friends that are in the military, that are in the mill, have told me they're not telling him, has already told him he will not be home for Thanksgiving because at this point in time he's going to be scrambling around to get a flight. We're only, 3 weeks away from Thanksgiving? Right. So he will more than likely not be home for Thanksgiving, but we are going to Texas. Maybe I can report live to you guys. We're going to Texas for Christmas. We're going to spend Christmas in Texas, in Killeen, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And Taunton, 42 degrees outside of our WVBS studios here at 14 Church Green in Taunton, Massachusetts. foggy. I don't think it's foggy, but that's what it says here. If I look outside, it looks like it's pretty nice out. Some clouds in the sky, but definitely not foggy. 63 degrees with a low of 39 today. 52 tomorrow with a low of 46. So still got some pretty good weather over the next couple of days. We're kind of at the time during the year when we get nice weather. It seems to always rain when we get really, really nice weather, like upper 60s or 70s during this time. It always rains.
November's hit and miss because sometimes November can be really nice around here, right after Christmas. And I've been in the oil business for close to 30 years. Next year, on October 17, 2024, I'll be 30 years. In the evening.
I thought you were only 29.
Right.
You have less. Who has less gray hair? You seem to have less gray hair than me.
Yeah. Well, let's get in that.
Are you coloring that? Be
No.
honest. Okay, you sure?
No.
Do I have to ask your friend up in Exeter, New
You
Hampshire?
wash that gray right out of me. Yeah.
We got one more. Middleboro. 43 degrees. Cloudy. Not cloudy, but, mostly cloudy. 64 degrees. A high of 64. A low of 40. 53 tomorrow. Cloudy skies with a low of 47. So that is our weather for today. We're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we will be doing our musical recommendation. We'll talk about the Beatles as well during that musical recommendation. But I have a musical recommendation of my own today. And that's kind of rare that I get to do a standalone musical recommendation.
Well, we usually drive in together.
Yeah.
But you know what? He commentates the radio. I got no say. It's a dictatorship. It's democracy. He says it's a dictatorship. It's my house. I'm going to leave you on the corner here. All right? I'll throw your phone in the woods. You're not getting an Uber.
All right, let's take our first commercial break. You're listening to WVB at 1530 AM, 99.7 FM.
So, Joey, who has more gray?
Dad.
No, he does not. He's trying to be nice.
He is.
You guys rock. I love the bond that you two have. It's
Yeah,
like,
I know.
it's so great.
We are-
Joey, you're so fortunate to have. I mean, this guy, you guys are like a 1-2 punch. Beautiful people.
It's
Beautiful.
good when you got a third guy in here, too. Get things going. There's other times we're at each other's throats. True.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back and forth. It's my show. I'm shutting your mic off.
Have you ever had to shut his mic off?
Yeah.
A couple of times. Yes.
We
I
can,
don't
get,
lock
we
up,
can get
though.
this to go viral, We could on Facebook.
I don't know. Facebook always seems to go so far. It really did.
Yeah, when I put it on YouTube, it goes a little bit further.
Have you tried TikTok?
I have
I'm a
not.
TikTok guy.
Not. I'm really not.
You're probably better off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm heading up today to see my dad. He's in a good place right now. He's
Hey, did you know what Tony Dagnese? You know the Dagneses?
I know Bob Dagnese.
Yeah, he used to be Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked with him at the
Yeah,
Marriott.
you told me that. Yeah, that he was like a security guard there, right?
No, he was Bell stand.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a big Swampscott family.
Yeah, well, the father was like a security. He was a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was,
What year did you graduate high school?
86.
So you were 1 year. So did you go to Whitman? Where did you go? Whitman?
Nah, Quincy Boca.
Quincy. Okay. Oh, you were a Vogue Tech guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. The Vogue schools are the way to go.
Yeah. I did plumbing, but I never really got into it. I went into plumbing, professionally 2-3 years, but then the economy dropped in '91, and I got into something else, and I get my license.
My plumber said that he would never encourage his. I actually had two plumbers tell me this because they end up with bad knees, bad backs. You're going in a lot of tight places, and
Same with the burner guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that to me. I said, he said I would not encourage my kids because of that. Like he was in his 40s and he was already starting to feel and stuff like that. But
You know what? Other than one of my nieces out, I'm in pretty good shape.
yeah, my wife just had her total knee replaced. She retired after teaching for 39 years, and then she had to get a knee replacement in March.
Yeah.
That's when it started. That's when it all started in March. It was like, and then after that, I started getting these weird tingling feelings in my, and I had no idea because they were watching it. Because
Demo contract for 20 years.
what was that?
A demo contract.
Okay.
And removal demo contract for landscape. I get everything.
That must be fun.
Yeah, no point. No point. I mean, it's just, it's hard pricing the jobs. Everything's so expensive.
Yeah.
Getting house hard.
Oh, that's important. Look at all the help wanted everywhere. I'm like, is anybody working?
I've had my friends help me a lot.
Yeah.
And you can trust your friends.
Yes, you can.
Even though, you know, it's tough dealing with friends sometimes in the professional business, you can trust them. That's, you know, you can trust them, you know. Because you know they're not going to.
You know they're going to be loyal. They're going to, they're going to be there when they say they're going to be there, and
they're not going to exactly.
And they're not going to steal from you.
They're going to steal from you. They're not going to try to sue you.
My brother-in-law, his brother owns 3 Dunkin' Donuts, one in Swampscott, one in Danvers, and one in Salem. And the people were on cameras, and they were still stealing. Not family, but like people that are employed. They're like, you're on camera. They didn't care. They were stealing money, even knowing they were on camera.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we are back. So I turned the music down. There we go. We're back. I'm Joey Driscoll. This is Middleboro in Review. It's 7:31 a.m. on Standard Daylight Time. Yep, it's 7:31 a.m. or
everyone's clocks are wrong.
Or 12.
The clock is wrong.
Or 12:31 or 12:31 p.m. It wouldn't be British summertime anymore. I don't think it would be because since we are now at, I don't know if it's different in Britain or not. But,
I think one time when when we went to daylight savings, I think you did a big thing on the native reservations that do not celebrate.
There are a couple places in America that do not celebrate daylight savings.
I believe it's Hawaii and Arizona.
Right, but I think the Navajo Nation.
They also do not?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if the rest of the world does too. I don't know, like for Britain, for example. I don't know if that's still British summertime over there. I don't think so. But
you know what started all the time zones?
What?
The railroad.
Yeah.
It was the railroad.
It all comes back to trains.
It does.
It all comes back to trains.
Yes, it does.
Trains and automobiles.
They had it, because everyone had their own time in their own village back in the day. They look at the sun, and it would be 1:30 in one place, and it'd be 1:15 somewhere else.
So, my musical recommendation for today, we got Thomas Dolby and his debut album from 1982, The Golden Age of Wireless. Debut album from English musician Thomas Dolby, originally released in May of 1982. The album was reissued in a number of different configurations. Later re-sequences included the pop hit She Blinded Me with Science, which is one of his biggest hits.
Awesome. That's a great one. She blinded me with science.
The song that...
you can't sing it, though.
Can't sing it, no.
I apologize. Copyright law. I do apologize. But that brought me back to my 7th grade years in school, but I apologize to anybody from the FAA. Is it the FAA?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I don't even say that word.
The FCC.
FCC. I do apologize. I can't even sing it?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
I don't
No,
think
just like even
I
a
don't
verse?
I don't know.
No, I don't think you
We
can.
don't, because you don't know.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
Because all the
we're
lawyers
being
are listening.
careful.
Okay, so if you're a lawyer and you're listening, you heard nothing. You didn't hear anything. Just pay no attention to the man behind the microphone.
Yeah.
The song that caught my eye on this album is a song called Wind Power. Very, very good song. Kind of this unique song from him. A lot of his music is unique. He's a very unique artist. Very, very synth-driven, this song. A lot of his material is. But
Is that the song you played from yesterday?
I did. It's a very unique song, Wind Power.
Okay.
And at the end of the song...
I'll Google that.
At the end of the song, there's a unique ending to the song. There's a excerpt that he took from, I don't know what they call it, but it's the British equivalent of NOAA Weather Radio. It's just very unique. The song is awesome.
It was
very unique.
It was a different ending.
Yeah, it's very unique.
I know they're using all their toys, all their new keyboards, just like in the 70s when Rush came out and all these bands came out.
Yes.
All the new synthesizers were available. Everyone had to have one.
Absolutely.
Everybody had to have one.
Yes.
And
That's my musical recommendation for today. Wind Power by Thomas Dolby, or if you want to check out the entire album, Golden Age of Wireless. Can't go wrong. Great album.
Blinding with Science was the hit. Had the video. And it was different. It was definitely different.
All right. Theater One is going to be presenting another play. The Fall and Rise of Dynamite. Theater One's Readers Theater will present Boston playwright Margie Semiloff's The Fall and Rise of Dynamite, directed by Linda Merritt, on Sunday, November the 19th. So 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks from this afternoon, at Mitchell Memorial Club, 2 p.m. on November 19th. The Fall and Rise of Dynamite depicts Boston duckboat captain Dinah McGregor as she follows her dream of performing stand-up in the new comedy club in town. But it will take a duckboat mutiny, 2 trips to city jail, and a near tragedy, and a mugger with unlucky timing for McGregor to realize that she doesn't need to wear a costume to be a star. There will be a question and answer session with Semiloff after the performance. Doors open at 1:30 p.m. Tickets at the door is $10, cash only, and donations for Sacred Heart Food Pantry will also be collected at the door. So you're not only supporting the playwrights and the directors and the actors and actresses who were in the play, but you're also supporting the Sacred Heart Food Pantry. So go out and go to this performance.
You going to talk about the Beatles?
Yeah, we're going to do that right now.
Hey, Chuck.
I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
Quick question, Chuck.
Yes.
We're going to be doing like a transportation topic after the next break, right, Joey? Is that
Yes.
Okay. Just want the fuel assistance. Could you give us an idea what's going on with that as far as St. Vincent de Paul?
Yeah, people can if they're having issues with fuel assistance, come on down. If you're not registered, come down and register, and we can get you some help with fuel assistance. If you're you need to be from either Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver. I want to make sure I say that we service Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. So any of those 4 towns, come down.
Yep.
I don't even know the address. This is terrible. I'm having one of those senior moments, brain fog, COVID brain fog.
Yeah.
I can Google it, but
No.
this is terrible. Yes, but there is fuel assistance. Absolutely.
Oh, sure.
There's all types of great assistance, but there's absolutely is fuel assistance.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And what's that number, Chuck?
Yes. John will have to get back to that. I'm going to have to use the power of Google to.
Yeah, he'll do that. He'll get the address.
Get the address
But I mean, as far as fuel assistance, myself being in the oil business. And
it's 53 Oak Street.
53
so
Oak
53 Oak Street around the back.
Yep.
So 53 Oak Street, Middleborough, Massachusetts.
Yep.
And that number is 508-947-1717. One more time, 508-947-1717.
Yeah, and any kind of donations. What's up with the donations?
Yeah, we'll take any. I know they're doing. Oh, and by the way, there's also right now there's a giving tree for families that they can't afford for. You can sign up for that. People are signing up for Thanksgiving Day meals. They're signing up for Christmas meals. All that is coming. So if you need help or you know someone that needs help, please refer them to that number 508-947-1717. And so we're going to be making lots of good things. It's very hard to get turkey. I don't know what this is all about. They are going to have turkeys, but there's something going on with turkeys because the prices are high or something. It's something I overheard at the last meeting they were talking about that. But yeah, so there's Thanksgiving Day meals and there's Christmas meals coming up. And then, as you mentioned, as we get into winter, fuel assistance, and then there's the giving tree for families that cannot afford toys. They can come in and sign up for that.
Right.
So there's lots of good things happening, and this is a busy busy time of the year. And there's we need volunteers. If people are willing to volunteer, we need volunteers. So
I've been there a couple times, and it's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
It's
it all comes back to oil.
When I visit there a few times, I see a lot of familiar faces. People show up every week.
Yeah.
They're really dedicated.
And that's the thing, John. We want people to see when they come in when I don't like the word client. If you and Joey can think of a better word, I just don't like that word. I don't know why. I don't know. But if you can think of a better word than calling somebody a client, I don't know. They're friends. I look at them as friends. I really do. Right. And the thing is the consistent face of having a familiar person. And when we come in, we're so much more than like a food. I want to describe it that people
call them loved ones.
Yeah,
because
we're
all loved ones.
Yeah, we are. And it's when they come in, they get to choose what they want, and that's from produce to all types of.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. The setup. Because I've gotten pretty much the grand. I got the.
We gave you the grand tour.
Yeah, I got the tour.
We're not just giving them a bag of stuff. We're giving them love and compassion.
No, I mean, there's areas in where there's the meats department, there's the pasta department, the canned goods, the vegetables, and you get people in and out pretty quick. Yeah. So
we really do.
And
there's no shame in this either. If you're having
who's the guy with the loudspeaker?
That's Patrick.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's a good man.
I like Patrick.
He's a good man. He's a straight shooter.
He is.
And some people don't like that. They're not used to that. Yeah. But he's a straight shooter.
No, but he's one of the guys who are there every week.
He is. He's there every week, and he's a good man.
Yeah.
And most of them, many of them are veterans. And some of these men and women are well into the 70s and 80s.
Right.
And they'll say to me, Chuck, the new smoking is sitting. And they're always in motion. Bill Pye, a former president who has befriended me, and I love this man. He's 88 years young. 88 years young, and he's still moving. He'll say to me all the time, if you don't use it, you'll lose it, Chuck.
Right.
So if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So there's the people there are just so beautiful.
Well, some people got to do something. They want to feel like they're creating something.
Yeah.
They want to feel like they're giving up. I mean, people just don't want to sit home and watch TV. I mean, there's time for that. Yeah. You're not going to watch the Rockford Files all day.
I prefer Frank Cannon. Do you remember Frank Cannon?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true. So if there are
Robert Conrad.
Yeah. So if there are people that are, again, I'll just give the number one last time, then I'll be quiet. It's 508-947-1717. 508-947-1717. And if people have ideas of other things, we need to grow with the needs of the community.
Right.
That's so important. And actually, the Vincentian Code asks us to do that, to kind of grow with the times. So we're trying to engage younger people. We're trying to, if there's a need out there that people think that we can help with, please let us know, because there's power in many hands makes light work.
It's top quality. It is.
It's all top quality. It's all top quality.
I mean,
it's fresh and
when people think of food pantries, they're thinking about old stuff. No. It's not. Everything is just.
They have cakes that are still. We have some benefactors, whether it's Hannaford's or Shaw's, and there are cakes that people are getting. That are $50. These cakes are $50 cakes, and they're still fresh and they're still very, very good. But that's what they would cost. Right? If you were to walk into Hannaford's and buy that cake, it's a $50. I couldn't believe it. It's a $50 cake,
right.
$45 cake, and I tell people there's a misconception of who needs help. We have a lot of elderly, and we have a lot of young families, right. A lot of young children and elderly people. So we're all in this together. I like how you said that, because I always call them friends and not clients, because they are friends, because we're all friends. We're just people that we haven't met yet. So
right, and well, that's good. I mean, Joey. I mean, he kind of read our mind. We're like, we gotta get a hold of somebody over there. We need a commercial.
Yeah. I'll be willing to do that. I'll talk to Olinda. I will talk to Olinda. I'd love to get her on one of your Thursday shows too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she's a beautiful soul. She's a beautiful person. Yeah. She's our first female president. I am so proud to be able to say that. The chapter's been around for over 20 years. I think there were 6 or 7. There's a picture on Facebook of us. I think you saw.
I did see that.
And I was able to participate in the ceremony of it's a rule book we go by. It's called the Rule, and it's a constitution. It's a living document, a living, breathing document like our United States Constitution. It has some flexibility and fluidity in it. So because we need to change with the times.
Right. Well, that's good. I'm glad you were waiting for Joey in the parking lot. I'll be guaranteed to wait for you in the parking lot.
And to think that this organization has been around since the 1800s. It started in 1833 in Paris, France, and still around all these years later.
A couple minutes here before we take a break. I want to mention that Scott from Georgia mentioned that the UK turned their clocks back last weekend. They changed their clocks back on October the 29th, which means they're no longer in British summertime. They are in Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. So that is the time zone there for Britain. But just wanted to mention that. Today in history is real quick, so we get those out of the way, so we're not rushing to do them. 1605, the gunpowder plot. Guy Fawkes is arrested in the cellars of the Houses of Parliament, where he had planted gunpowder in an attempt to blow up the building and kill King James I of England. King James I of England. 1872, women's suffrage in the United States. In defiance of the law, suffragist Susan B. Anthony votes for the first time and is later fined $100. 1940, Franklin D. Roosevelt is the first and only president of the United States to be elected to a third term. He would then become the only president to be elected to a fourth term. Birthdays on this day. 1818, Benjamin Butler, American general, lawyer, and politician, the 33rd governor of Massachusetts. 1911, Roy Rogers, American singer, guitarist, and actor, became one of the most popular Western actors of his era, known as the King of the Cowboys. He appeared in over 100 films and numerous radio and television episodes of The Roy Rogers Show. In his later years, he lent his name to a franchise chain of Roy Rogers restaurants. 1941, he's 82 today. Art Garfunkel, American singer, songwriter, and guitarist. Don, quick thing about Art Garfunkel, because he's a very interesting guy.
Oh, I mean, he's the other half of one of the greatest folk team out there, in my opinion.
Yes.
As far as two people playing folk music.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just, those songs are memory. And I remember, and we talked about this too, after the 9/11 attacks, when Saturday Night Live resumed, Mayor Rudy Giuliani had all the first responders behind him, and then they had Paul Simon do The Boxer. And that song is truly New York, The Boxer. But
Yes, it is.
it would have been so nice if, they were both there. If Simon and Garfunkel were both there, because it's just, they're New York, in my opinion. There's a feel, the blood, the drive, the energy in New York folk. And I know a lot of people, I know Bob Dylan came from New York too. I mean, he's San Francisco. Those two are just unbelievable.
Yeah, and
So, I mean, Paul Simon stands alone, but his strength is in numbers.
New York has a ton of really iconic artists. Billy Joel is on that list too.
Yeah. So so The Boxer just is my favorite. Simon Garfunkel.
All right, 7:47. We'll take our last commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have our transportation topic. I want to mention the Give Me Tree program.
And Beatles. You'll talk about that song before you on the way out.
Yeah.
We got stuff from
Listen,
Jordan.
if we don't get to it today, I promise we'll get to it first thing next Sunday.
All right.
We're now up against it a little bit. So we're going to talk about Giving Tree. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving meals. We're going to talk about our transportation topic, because we definitely want to talk about our transportation topic today. We were talking about that. We were
Throw me a bone
sure
on
we're
that
gonna
one.
do that.
All
We
right.
were going to make sure we're going to do that. So we're going to do that today. Beatles, we might have to be pushed back till next week. It'll give me more time to listen to the song even more. I've listened to it about 10 times already, but it'll give me a chance to listen to it
20 times.
20 million times. So, and I'll probably have more thoughts about it too. All right, we're gonna take our last commercial break. We'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review on 1530 AM, 99.7 FM, WVBF.
Yeah. It's a good song.
Cool Beans. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm going to listen to the bar. I haven't listened to the bar. And you're totally right about Simon and Garfunkel being New York. And Billy Joel, of course, Long Island.
But not those guys. You know what I mean?
My sister lives in New York, and her husband, and they see Billy Joel all the time. They like make the town over from him.
Yeah, a
I
friend of
love
mine
his music.
lives in Hillsdale, New Jersey, and he saw
The Boss.
The Boss, and he said it was unbelievable. He couldn't believe it because he didn't want to go. He went his wife brought him there kicking and screaming, and then he saw Billy Joel, and he said they were both
Do they still have it?
But,
Do they still have the gift to perform?
yeah. Oh, yeah. He said
It's sad when some of them lose it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they don't know when they get out.
Yeah, it's like what you know.
You know,
What is that, Don? Ego? Is that like what? Yeah.
David Coverdale kind of fits that list
Yeah,
with artists who should maybe hang it up.
He was like one of the best. He was better than Robert
He was.
Plant, in my opinion.
He was.
Who's this?
David Coverdale. He White Snake, Deep Purple, British singer.
I mean, Robert
I thought
Plant
you said
really
David
hasn't
Copperfield.
lost
I thought you
it.
were talking about the musician. I mean, the magician.
Robert Plant really hasn't lost it, but I think he's in the wrong genre of music. Robert Plant.
But I mean, people like Ian Gillan still doing it, but he's like changing his music out. You know,
He's changing his style
he's not
of
doing-
music so that it fits him.
Right, fits him as his age.
David Coverdale's not.
No, he still thinks he's.
He still thinks he's like in the
What about
70s,
Donnie and
80s.
Marie?
Are they still around?
Yeah. They seem to be doing less and less with each other. I don't know if there's some internal conflict going on. Or Donnie seems to do. Marie had her son committed suicide, and they said that she hasn't been the same since her adopted son hasn't been the same.
You wonder why people commit suicide. You always think it's just something like that. Each bunch of people alive.
I think that's what she's thinking. I think it eats her alive. I really do.
You going in the Given Tree first, or doing the transportation first?
We're gonna do Given Tree and Thanksgiving first, and then we'll have about 5 minutes to do the transportation.
Did they tell you? Did they ask you to do the giving? Is this for St. Vincent de Paul?
No, it is for St. Vincent
okay.
de Paul, but I just do it.
You're a good
3,
man.
2, 1, and 0. And we are back here on Middleboro in review. And now let's talk a little bit about Giving Tree and what's going on with that. So the annual Giving Tree program, sponsored by the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, has begun taking sign-ups for those who need support for the Giving Tree program. Each eligible child ages birth to high school will receive 4 gifts of clothing and or toys. To register, you must bring a birth certificate for each child, proof of residency in Carver, Lakeville, Middleboro, or Rochester, a proof of guardianship, or suggested items and sizes. If you or someone you know is in need this year, you can come by the food pantry during regular hours. Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. First and third Wednesdays, 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Second and fourth Wednesdays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And the sign-ups for the Giving Tree program end on November 25th. And also, we have the Thanksgiving meal sign-ups. The Sacred Heart Food Pantry will begin taking sign-ups. It has begun taking sign-ups for the Thanksgiving meal beginning October 25th. So they're ongoing now. During regular pantry hours, food pantry clients can register that day even if they have already done their October shopping, which now we're in November. Sign-ups will continue through Saturday, November the 18th, so just a couple of more days, a little less than 2 weeks. Meals are to be picked up on Tuesday, November the 21st, between 9 a.m. and noon, or between 3 and 6 p.m. Mailboxes will include a turkey, several sides, along with a pie and some rolls. Regular pantry hours are Saturdays, 1st and 3rd Wednesdays, from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., and from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday. So that is Giving Tree program, and also the Thanksgiving meals. Very important. 2 minutes. What
2 minutes?
are your thoughts? 2 minutes.
Hurry, John. No rush.
2 minutes. What
No
are your
pressure.
thoughts?
Go ahead. What you started
putting
on?
2 minutes. What are your thoughts? Well, my thoughts are.
on the
This is
Giving
always
Tree?
this is always important.
Well, I
Giving
mean, we
Tree
have a
and
representative
Thanksgiving.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the train.
No.
No, we'll be talking about the trains in about 2 minutes.
Yeah. I was wondering. We had some time left. Well, we do have a representative in-house, Mr. Chakar.
Good to be here.
part of the St. Vincent de Paul organization.
If you want to see something, you mentioned how it's like a fine oil machine. You should see how they get our friends that come in for their gifts, their holiday gifts, Christmas gifts, Hanukkah gifts, or whatever. But you should see the machine that they have. There's two ladies, and I don't want to mention their names because they're very humble, but they orchestrate something that you have to come. I'm inviting both of you to watch this in action when we give the gifts up to the families. You have to watch this. It is. I can't even explain it. It's like being in Disney World. They have everything is perfect. It's like I went home. I was laughing and then I started to weep when I thought about it. I only have 2 minutes, so I don't want to go on. But I'm inviting both of you to come and see this in action. You have to see this in action. How quickly they get families in and out.
How people are organized when it comes to that.
But you have to come and see the organization that goes in to get this ready for that to be able to happen. I mean, they take time, they duct tape it, they make spaces for each family that's going to get, and they put duct tape and they square it off in this huge room, and the gifts are all put into that area, and then a lot of high school students help out and volunteer. But to see it's almost like a drive-through. They come and get they don't even have to leave their car if they don't want to. But they use a very sophisticated computer software that allows them to do this. They used to do it. It used to be old hand writing it on paper and pencil. No more. Now there's a very sophisticated piece of equipment. These two women are unbelievable. Absolutely. And last year, we were faced with two churches at the same time, simultaneously, you'll appreciate this, lost their boilers. The boiler systems went out, gone at the church. So that we had to remove things all over the places, and they had to think outside of the box because they did it one way. Remarkable spirit. And it's, did you know that the Sacred Heart and St. Martha and Mary both lost their boilers at the same time? So they didn't have heat in the church. So they had to take the space up where the Giving Tree usually is done and move it to the Father O'Shea building. But I encourage both of you to come and watch this and witness this, and it's unbelievable.
So Don,
yes.
4 minutes.
All right.
CT Rail.
CT Rail. Yes.
What is your verdict on CT Rail?
I liked it. I think there's I think it has a lot of potential. And there's talk about the CT Rail running from New Haven to Springfield to the next electrified corridor.
Yeah, there's talks about electrifying that?
Yes, talks about electrifying it. And it's one track pretty much from Springfield, just north of Hartford, which is Windsor Locks area, Windsor. Yeah. It's like 65 miles, and it moves. It's I enjoyed. We took a ride from Springfield to New Haven and Haven back. Amtrak helps out too with that line too. They run what they call those little metro cars, 2 cars and an engine, and they subcontract too with CT Rail, and then CT Rail runs their own equipment. But the train we took from New Haven up to Springfield was going to go on the Greenfield too, called the Valley Flyer.
Yes.
So they're connecting all that in. I just think the communication could be a little better as far as to telling people, because the train stopped and all these people are getting up thinking the station's there. You got older people standing. An announcement would have been nice.
And it was nighttime too.
Exactly, and
that adds a little bit to the confusion because when you stop.
Right, and I think the Amtrak staff and maybe even the CT Rail staff, they were nice, but they kind of rough around the edges as far as I think they might need to send them
yelling at people.
They just need to send them to child school.
They were yelling at people
because
I noticed that they were yelling at people. I didn't really like that.
Yeah, because even. We've done a lot on the MBTA, and a lot of the MBTA conductors are really, really nice people.
They are.
They're really.
They are nice people.
It's like
absolutely.
They need to go to charm school a little bit. All right, they need to go to charm school.
Especially the first time we went.
Well, the first time we went was a week ago Sunday, and I don't think we should have tried to pull it off because it was late.
And it was raining. That was part of it.
He said, "Well, let's go to Rockport, Dad." No, I want to go to Springfield. So we get there, and then the train was delayed an hour because it was the Amtrak part that runs for the state of Connecticut. They were waiting on a conductor for an hour. We just left. It was the day was a total bust.
I think if it wasn't raining,
Well, this is a beautiful
it would be a
city.
little
Basketball Hall of
better.
Fame.
No, you know what I like? I never really got to know Springfield, but we got 2 weekends in a row. It's nice.
Springfield's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yes,
They have that
it
new
is.
MGM too. They have an
And MGM is there, yeah.
MGM, and that line runs right on the river too. It's really nice when it leaves Springfield. So
It
if
is.
if you're looking west, the sun was. We got the 220 train.
Yeah,
so
I would catch an earlier train than that, the 221, because on the way back it's dark.
Well, it got dark at Hartford.
If you're going in during this time, if you're going
Right.
in the summer, then that's no
Well,
issue.
we want to go. We want to go up to Greenfield. We want to do the Valley Flyer,
Yeah.
and we have something that we're going to try to do. Something that's we'll probably put on a stupid video thing or whatever. But,
Yeah, the Sachem Rail videos.
Yes. CT Rail is the future, in my opinion. I think it's got. I asked the engineer how fast we're going. He said we're up to 105 miles an hour in some stretches.
Yeah.
Okay. It was
I think he said. Did he say Berlin? I think he might have said mentioned maybe Berlin.
Berlin, yeah, in
Berlin, Connecticut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that part is double tracked pretty much from just south of Hartford Station, because Hartford Station isn't double tracked.
Yeah.
But they need to double track it more,
Yeah.
and I think that's the next electrified line. And it's newer. It's a newer commuter rail. Amtrak's always
It's nice.
Amtrak has always run that.
I give it a B plus. It was really good. It was really
me
good.
too.
The experience, I give it a B
Stations
plus.
were clean. The Springfield's
Very
clean
clean.
as a whistle.
Very clean.
Bathrooms,
Yeah, very good.
the bathrooms in Boston are disgusting. I mean, that's our capital city.
New Haven was a little crowded, but I like New Haven too.
New Haven was clean.
New Haven was clean too.
Everything was clean. Everything was immaculate. Stations were new. The platforms were all right. Springfield was a nice station.
All right, that'll do it for today's program. I hope everyone enjoyed today's program. We'll
Thank
be
you,
back.
Chuck.
It's so
And
great to
thank
be
you,
here.
Chuck,
Thank you
once
for joining,
again,
John. Nice to be
coming
back. And I'll see
in.
you in December, right?
Yeah.
December 3rd
Excellent.
will be the first Sunday of the month. We'll see everyone next week with another edition of Middleboro in Review, the November 12th edition. I'll be back on the air again on Thursday morning with another edition of Middleboro Matters. Until then, have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
That was awesome. So when is the train? I love I have a friend that's like he works for the MBTA.
Yep.
He loves trains, and they moved him down. He's been all over Boston, but now they moved him. He's living in Halifax. So what's close to Halifax when we get to? There's something that he's doing now down that way more than down.
Yeah, the Halifax line. You got Halifax, Hanson.
So he's doing stuff out of there.
Yeah.
So where does your affinity for trains come from? I love trains.
Bye, everybody.